show this brings me so much nostalgia. My goodness, and Final Code. There it is. Oh snap, here it comes. I don't know what it is, but I guess the biker gang is having a meeting or something. And this is when it's oh yes. Oh my god. Oh beautiful. Man. Childhood me was like having a field day. And just like that, I finally finished GTA Chinatown Wars. I don't know the full name, but I did it. My goodness, I never seen the ending until now. I don't know. I don't know. But yep, that's it. Oh my gosh. My most anticipated PSP game that I wanted to finish. Let's go. Wow, my first ever GTA game that I have finished that isn't San Andreas. Whoever thought? I mean, then again, I did finish GTA 4. Listen, there's a bunch of GTA history that I completely forgot, but I think it was just 4 and San Andreas that I finished. But none of this day because I am planning to go back to those games. But we gotta talk about GTA Chinatown Wars, which is kind of like the first one I emulated. But yeah, let's talk about it. GTA, I finally finished it. The first one out of the list of other GTA games that I want to get done with. And for this one particular, I enjoyed it so much because I did grow up with it. I never touched the DS one, but with the PSP one, that was peak. That brought me back. There were so many aspects, whether it's like some of the cutscenes, Hong's story, or just buying property lottos and also drug dealing. Yeah, I grew up with this game. This is the game that I pretty much like spent a lot of my time when I first got it on the PSP. There was other games that I play in the PSP, like that b-boy game that I play a lot. The what was the other one? There was also this rhythm game that I played a lot as well. I know the Clank game as well from Ratchet and Clank. I did play that on the PSP. I mean, there's a lot of history that I play on the PSP, like Ratchet and Clank, uh, as well as man, I play actually all the Clank games, huh? As well as Tekken. I played that a lot, and the list goes on. But for this one particular, Grand Theft Auto, there's a part of me where I never really understand why it did low sales. And even by then, when I first got it, I heard about it. I didn't need to have YouTube or anything. This was before YouTube at all, or at least when YouTube was a big thing, that I didn't really see much of anything about this game, or basically gaming content in general, from what I remember. But for, what I had at the moments of playing this, I know that it was a game that I never really seek to finish other than just like any GTA game or any open world game is to enjoy just the environment or what the game gives. The gameplay content, the meat of what you do when you're actually in the middle of the story. Side quests and me doing with the amount of, work with the drug dealers and also the car chasing as well. I remember that I played a lot when it comes down to the whole taxi riding thing just to get a couple of just to get a couple of bucks. Then moving on to doing lottos, which is kind of like I guess the most fastest way you can do it. I don't know if there's like cheat codes in this game. There should be, but I wouldn't know that. But other than that, I also didn't really know much about the story of Hong Lee, or maybe in the position that he's in. I kind of see him as like a person that he's dragged into this, but also getting revenge for, his father's death. And as well as inheriting, the basically this upcoming storyline that I feel like would happen sooner of him becoming the next leader of the mafia or the triads, basically the Chinese triads. And when it comes to Chinese culture or Chinese, gangs in Chinatown, basically history surrounding Chinese in America, this game kind of fits it well, especially growing up in California and growing up in the U.S., knowing that there's a lot of Chinese, but also a lot of Chinese culture and influence in America, and that being played, and pretty much how it's showcased here, especially in New York, is kind of authentic the way I kind of see it. On the ground, you see, you have like a hint of triads, and pretty much there's some inspiration of that, maybe from the Italian mafia, but also with the triads being much more stronger and actually having their own sense of business. I don't know if I felt that here in this game particularly, but it's surrounding just a Chinese individual that is going through some pains or basically is numb to life, because there's a part of me where Hong Li does seem a bit dry. I mean, I'm not here to criticize much of the story or anything else of it. I mean, I do like Lester in some of these, scenes. He just seems like almost like the Roman to Hong in a sense. And Hong just seems like a family member to anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. Like pretty much there is some sense of like racism here and there, or at least the way it's supposed to be portrayed, or the way I see it. When he first like, met Rudy, the Avanzo, like there is some sense of like the Chinese and the Italians not really getting along. And then we get into Wade, and pretty much that was like weirdly, announcing just especially how Wade treats him, but became good friends later on. And then you just have the amount, especially of GTA humor, which is kind of like over the top, but also just like, it's supposed to be non-fictional for a reason. It would just be crazy if this was real, if this person was real. And a lot of times when it comes to GTA type comedy, especially me remembering some of the listenings of just like listening to the radio, especially through GTA San Andreas of the radio talk show, specifically Laszlo and all that. There's some aspects where I'm like, I mean, this is funny. It's also kind of like over the top, but also I can definitely see how some people, they say they don't want to sound like this or talk like this. I can definitely see that there could be a breaking edge that they basically could fall into that box right there of just being over the top, crazy, and basically delusional sometimes. And there's some aspects of that through some of the characters. I get that from Chan a lot. Chan, I like him as a character. I don't understand, like, him, especially the ending scene of just like talking about how he likes taking pictures of girls in locker rooms or something, as for him that he's pretty much almost close to his death. But I mean, whatever. I mean, there's parts of me where it's just like, wow, they went there. And there's a lot of parts of that in GTA. It's matured for a reason. It's not matured because, oh, you're going to see some drugs, you're going to see some babes, you're going to see all this. No, it's the sense of maturity of humor, and also basically the graphic scenes within the series. I mean, that scene that Chao Chen did to this individual, and like I'm not gonna really spoil it or give it away, nor don't want to think about it, but wow, that was graphic. There's so many graphic scenes that they could portray, but they don't really portray it or show it. They don't show the guts of it. They don't show the killings and stuff. And there's some darkness and also some unfairness. That's the thing about mature games that I don't really like as a kid, is that when a female character dies, she just dies. So what? We don't see that for the same for the men. I remember that aspect of when it comes to gender. It's like, wow, women are just treated like this. It's insane. It's so different from now. Especially now. But it's like they, man, they fall into this, but they treat it like this. Like what happened to Ling? Like you're telling me we didn't get any revenge from her or something like that. Like that didn't get accounted. Like, are we also forgetting like Hong's father in a sense? Like, where's the revenge? And who the heck is H Sin or Hassan? I don't even know how to say that name, to be fair, okay? Nor I even care. When it comes to me to speaking Chinese, man, I fail completely. I don't freaking know how to say some of these. I know I look Chinese, but it doesn't mean I can freaking speak it. But yeah, this game itself just is a gem, at least for me. It's something that I grew up with. It's a little, I look at games like Cities. Like, yeah, I've been there when I was a kid. I didn't appreciate it, but it'd be cool to come back. And once I come back to that city, I'm like, oh man, I remember this. Oh, I remember this restaurant. I remember this street. I remember this arcade that I used to go to. That's what I felt like whenever I played GTA. It's like, I was here. a long time ago. I was here. I played this game. I know where I was at. And now witnessing it now as an adult, along with the amount of other games that I could have played, but then I go into this because I want to seek it true. I want to see these games, and that's the reason for starting these like thought series or review or retrospectives of video games that I grew up with, and I'm replaying and finishing them. Is that I get to have a piece of nostalgia and basically share it, and just tell you like what are the instances, but also the secrets or just things that I didn't know that they had. I'm still in the process or progress of finishing the game completely. And when I say finishing, it's like buying every apartment because I want to see it. Also, maybe do some of the missions. I don't know. But there's like other aspects that I actually want to, get around in the game, which is mostly like what else is there. And also, we get to the spoilers. Of course, it's not big spoilers. I mean, we avenge for our father, that's for sure. But who the person that really deserves it or something was not other than Hong's uncle. That actually is the one that caused it. I was like, what? It was his fault, and we chased him around, and really see that in the further of the game. And there's like gaming aspects that I remember, like trying to jack the car or something, or just breaking the locks. There's aspects of gameplay that they show that comic style, manga style, where I'm like, yo, this is evolutionary. This is pretty cool, even though it's like nothing crazy, but it's like I remember that. I was like, wow. You go into the buildings, and then, there's so many action aspects, and you witness that a lot, especially in the ending scenes of the game. And that ending scene wasn't really crazy. I mean, Hung Lee, he got his revenge. And that's it. That's it. Basically kill his uncle, because even though this uncle, I never really felt like I trust him. There was a part of me like, oh, who is this guy? Also, is he even Chinese? He seems black to me. Like, is he Chinese? He could be. He could be like, Tibetan or something. But yeah, he's done. And just like that, we moved on. As within the credits, and I guess that's it. Ending up with a rap song. There's like certain aspects of rap in this. And I like the music in the game, okay? Specifically the breakbeats. Oh man, what is it called? True Soul or something like that? Oh man. Like the drums and the trumpets. Oh, those were I actually danced with those songs as well. I was like, these are some tracks right here. These are some tracks. But I guess other than that, yeah, that's what the game gave me. There's a part of me where I want to see more, especially from Natalie. But sadly, what happened to her? Yeah, this game doesn't treat females very correctly. I was like, I thought we play as a female to help with Hung, but I guess that's just not true. Give it to the men, I guess. I mean, the men's are okay in this game, but damn, what a sausage fest. I was like, for crying out loud. I mean, thank goodness they put a female character in the GTA 6 game. And I don't want to sound like a feminist or anything like that. I'm literally the same person that criticized, like, certain games that, push, like, gender roles and forcefully. But for this one, man, they really just shoved the gender roles, like, in it. Like, it's like, we just don't care about them. Okay, whatever. But it's like, that's just it. So what happened to Ling? Okay, whatever, I guess. Just whatever. We're just not going to find who's the killer or who started this, even though we did. Man, you kind of felt that through Hung Lee, where he's just not happy about it. I'm not happy about it, especially when I played it as a kid. I was like, what? But other than that, that's the life. That's GTA. That's basically what it is when it comes to playing mature games. And this, in GTA, the series itself, if I can give a retrospective a bit on it, GTA is the truest, and I mean the truest mature game out there. In terms of like trauma, not really trauma, but in terms of like, oh wow. Like moments where you're like, what the frick was that? That did he deserve that? Did she deserve that? What? Like a good, like here's a good story. Not a story, but basically a good implication of that, the way I call it, whatever you may call it. But there was this scene in GTA 5. What I played a little bit. I never really finished, or maybe I finished. I freaking don't know. Actually, that was a long time ago. And here I am talking about Chinatown Wars, which is older. But in some of the movie, or like you go to a theater, right? In GTA 5, you go to a theater. I think it's like in downtown Los Santos or something like that. It's somewhere. Okay, you go to a big theater, and you can watch like movies that they show. Like I think what Rockstar has made. I was like, oh, that's cool. You see some cartoon shows. You see some cool stuff. I would say some shows, some that Rockstar has made. And let me tell you, these shows, specifically, if you know, you know. And I'm talking about the ones that know, okay? Especially if you grew up with GTA 5. GTA 5 and you went to the theaters and you saw this particular show or movie or whatever, they're like freaking like whoever is watching. Um I think it was Trevor when I was seeing this. Yeah, Trevor's so cool. But like when going into the theaters, I remember there was this scene of a robot, and I'll never forget it. I'm not gonna spoil or really talk much about it, but if you know, you know. Okay, the scene with the robot that is mistreated, and I saw what happened to the other robot. I saw the abuse, this and that. What like he didn't deserve. The man, there's so much amount of this particular show, and that traumatized me. I kid you not. That like I was watching that, and I was watching the ending of that, and that was not a good time as a kid seeing that. I mean, maybe I don't know if I was a kid. I probably was a teenager at the point or something, or a pretty young teenager, which still counts as a kid. But I remember seeing that. I was like, what the heck is this? What what that is so unfair. You know, there is scenes, and that's why it's the truest form of maturity of terms of games like this. It's mature for a reason because it's mature knowing that you can handle it. Can you handle this scene? Can you handle what happened? And there's aspects of that where I'm a bit worried when I go into like GTA 6. I want to play GTA 6. I don't know how. I don't know if I am. I probably might get spoiled because that's like the biggest game, the most anticipated game basically in the world. And as of now, I don't know what they're going to put there to make me feel like, oh, like, you know, the sure thing, you know, our generation has gotten softer, but there's parts of me where I'm like, oh man, they might go somewhere. I mean, shoot, it's no different of me watching Arcane. And I don't know if I guarantee Arcane is mature. I mean, they show that you know what scene with V and Caitlyn for a reason, you know. But with the ending and who died and who not, I'm like, why? Why would you do that, Arcane? So I don't know. We could be in this generation still of like, oh, you know, you love this character, you care about him, you care. Well, guess what? Uh-oh, they're dead. I was like, what the heck? What the heck, Rockstar? Why do you do that? Why would you kill my... Are you serious? You know, they can easily do that. They can do whatever they want. And let me tell you, whatever I saw in that robot show in GTA 5, trust me, you know if you know. They're not afraid to go that far. So whatever I've seen in Chinatown Wars is nothing compared to as of right now or further on. But other than that, that's my aspects and also my retrospective of GTA Chinatown Wars. The maturity, the sense of like what it gives you, but the gameplay mechanics, everything. It's not perfect. And sales can show you that for sure. But what is perfect is these memories, man. These moments. And pretty much the story unfolding. Even though it doesn't make sense in the end, it still makes sense the when I first played it. Man, those were some times. And I guess you have to be there to actually enjoy it. But other than that, you would enjoy it if you love some GTA crime goodness. Other than that, I'll see you when I see you. One love and peace, and God bless.